Imagine you are preparing to compete in the Summer Olympics in Rio, Brazil in the year of 2016 when your dreams are crushed for a short span of time. You competed in the 100-meter dash and you were one of the fastest men to ever run in this event. And suddenly, you're not allowed to compete for the following Olympics. The reason for this being because you decided to partake in drug consumption in the year of 2012, following receiving the silver medal in the Olympics in the 100-meter dash, which is now stripped from you from your history and no longer associated with your name. This was star track and field athlete Tyson Gay, former USA track and field athlete, star athlete. This was his experience with performance-enhancing drugs, also known as PEDs. My topic today is discussing the details associated with the usage of performance-enhancing drugs by collegiate and professional athletes, as well as the potential cause for this and a solution. I am qualified to discuss this subject with you guys because I am a former collegiate athlete in two different sports, that being football and track and field. And while I've never taken or partaken in PEDs, I am aware of them and I have seen their effect on people, as well as the research that I've conducted prior to giving this speech. There are three main points that I would like to discuss with you guys today within the body of my speech. First and foremost, I will provide you information regarding the underlying problem of, consuming and partaking in PEDs. And secondly, discussing, like what is the cause of that problem? And then thirdly, how can we solve and, come to a solution to PEDs as a whole? So let's begin with the issue of the abuse of partaking in PEDs. My first main point is the usage and the act of abusing PEDs in collegiate professional sports. PEDs are the leading reason for athletes receiving a competitive edge over other athletes in their respective sport. Not only is the physical advantage over other athletes, just unfair and wrong, however, the effect it has on an athlete's body and their health can go a long way and affect them in the long run. In the heat of the moment, athletes typically do not cherish their bodily health when it comes to the potential reward, the immediate reward that they could have, from taking PEDs. That short-term success that they're looking for, that short-term boost of energy and boost of fame, clout, so to speak. As stated from the Oxford Academic Journals in an article titled "Adverse Health Consequences of PEDs," there is a widespread misconception that PEDs use is safe or that adverse effects are manageable. In reality, the vast majority of PED users are not athletes, but rather non-athlete weightlifters, and the adverse health effects of PEDs are greatly underappreciated. Therefore, meaning there's a lot higher risk to taking PEDs. My second main point discusses the cause of this problem amongst professional collegiate athletes in their respective sports. The root causes are complex. First of all, there is a tremendous pressure to perform in high-stake environments, such as, the NFL, NBA, NHL, NCAA Division I programs, just to name a few big ones that we're all aware of. A study published in sorry, my phone is about to die. So anyways, a study published in Psychology of Sport and Exercise found that athletes who feel their careers, scholarships, contracts, playing time depend on performance are more likely to consider doping. Secondly, there's a cultural issue in this situation as well. As reported in a Sports Medicine Journal article in 2021, some teams and coaches subtly normalize the use of performance-enhancing drugs by placing a high value on results over ethics, which, you know, that is a very highly controversial topic, and I won't get much into that, but I'm, you know, here to provide you guys with facts and try and persuade you guys that this is not the right way, not the right route to take when it comes to competing and taking care of your body. You know, in a win at all costs mentality, cheating can seem justified. Last but not least, athletes slip through the cracks because of enforcement gaps and, you know, inconsistent drug testing. There is a wide variation in testing methods across various organizations, and many substances used for doping evolve faster than testing technology can detect, according to a report published in The Lancet. You know, meaning that athletes can, you know, easily abuse this, which is, you know, a strategy for them, but in the long run can affect them in, you know, bad ways. So my final point consists of discussing the solutions to this problem. Implementing a three-pronged strategy, you know, better education, improved regulation, and a cultural shift is necessary to address the PED issue. First and foremost, athletic associations must enforce more stringent, uniform drug testing policies. In order to close loopholes, leagues and institutions must completely adopt the framework provided by the World Anti-Doping Agency, also known as WADA. Second, education is essential, particularly in higher education. All sports programs must include required workshops, you know, on the dangers to the body's health, to one's health. Lastly, we must redefine what success in sport means. You know, what does it mean to you? Is it more than just, you know, immediate success, or, you know, can we honor diligence, tenacity, and moral character? In conclusion, today I discussed the usage of performance-enhancing drugs with you guys. There were three main points that I discussed. Those being, first, that the fact that there is a problem associated with taking and abusing PEDs, and secondly, you know, I discussed the cause of this issue, and then thirdly, you know, a solution, a way to figure out how we can better figure this situation out and lessen the consumption and taking of PEDs. You know, in conclusion, it is safe to say that the uses of PEDs in college and collegiate and professional sports is definitely an issue that is highly dealt with today. Following my research and learning more on the topic, I'm thankful to be able to provide this information with you guys, and hopefully you guys can take this information with you and, you know, share it with a friend and say that, you know, this is not the route, not the way to go. Appreciate you guys. Thank you.